Hello, good evening. Welcome all to episode 10, JMK Custom Works Live.
Episode 10.
I'm Mikey. That's my dad, John. What up, yo, Joe Daddy? Uh, um, Shannon texted me and said it's buffering really bad for me. Is anybody in the chat seeing that as well? Or is that isolated? Let me know. Cooter's Garage. Hello, sir. Welcome. 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 James. Howdy, sir. Appreciate you being here, buddy. Ho! Headcanon. What's up, sir? If you guys did not catch the latest episode, that guy was on it, and it was pretty interesting, even if he did air my dirty laundry. Still pretty good. Quentin, what's up, sir? Hello. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Quentin.
Quentin, are you going to be at DFW again this year? You are, right? I hope so. Looking forward to seeing everybody from last year, plus sounds like several more. That's exciting.
Hey, Shannon.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mama. So, last week we got started on the Sci-Fi kit that John designed. And this weekend I did a lot more painting, finished up some projects, and I kind of forgot that I do this on Wednesdays, and I made progress on the Sci-Fi kit, and then I realized after, like, dumbass, you're supposed to do that on camera so people can see the progress. So, apologies. I made progress, so I painted.
You just airbrushed these, didn't you, Mikey?
Yes.
So if you catch one of the earlier episodes where you were working on the assault trooper, you saw where the process to spraying these. So very cool.
Yeah, it's not new information. I feel like I cheated on y'all because I'm supposed to do this in front of you here, and I got rolling. I got the ball was moving really well, and I was like, oh yeah, I got this plate of parts and mixed the gray and went to town. Got everything prepped. All the joints were prepped. The body armor got that sanded nice and smooth. These honestly don't require a lot of prep. Dad, your printer does pretty darn good.
It's a good printer.
Domed surfaces, I've not seen many printers that do that super clean, but it just a little bit with the old sanding stick. 320, I think, is that one. Maybe it's 220. Couple passes. I didn't use any filler or primer or anything on those. Same thing on the tanks. Again, with the curved surface, that's where you're really going to see 3D lines. So you just scuff them a little bit. It's no different than you would a cast part. Scuff the surface.
Yeah.
So for anybody that's used to, like we talk about Raging Spoon or John Russell or AVAX Lab, you get stuff from those guys, you still got to scuff them. So it's really not much more time consuming or require more effort than that. But we did.
You could probably use a surface primer to knock a little bit of that off if you were scared to sand too much.
Definitely. Because that's the trick with the sanding is you don't want to go too far and start losing detail. So just kind of lightly hit it with the sanding, and then as you're spraying, especially with airbrush, airbrush is really good. at letting the paint level because it's not fighting brush strokes. It's settling into the lower areas. So the airbrush really does help in that regard as well. So there's that. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, at one time, everybody's looked like that, my guy.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm just a little further into the 10,000 hours to become an expert. I'm very, very, very far away. Very. So I got that done, and I wanted to show you guys one of the other projects that I got done recently. I did a Night Creeper leader. Boom.
That's amazing.
He's pretty legit. The crazy thing is outside of the head and the crossbow, um, this is totally Hasbro. Like they could very easily do, and I'm sure they will eventually. I mean, I cut off the bottom of the knife, the sheath there, so I could do swords. Um, and then that's just a 3D print, but you could easily use all of those pieces from the Night Creeper, and it's Storm Shadow or Nunchuck legs, Zartan's torso and arms. This is Crazy Legs' harness, but it's pretty damn close to Night Creeper. It doesn't have the ninja star, you know. But this is a freaking Daredevil head. Now this is a you know a 3D
Oh,
print scaled down to 1/12 scale, but damn, that's it. And then the crossbow was I think that was Anthanatos Unlimited. I
he
think
does great work.
he does. It takes a while to get it. And I think he's like a school teacher or something. It's not his full-time gig by any means, but it's good stuff. So I think that's where that came from, or it might have been Collectible Carnage. I order so much from everybody. I never know. Thanks, guys. Thanks. So yeah, I'm for those of you that know me, I'm not a ninja guy, but Night Creeper leader I always liked. I don't know if it was the tiger stripe pants. I always liked this figure. So, you know, take him with me this summer to the show tour and see if I can find him a new home, but I think he came out pretty darn good. Uh,
Yeah, it looks really great.
Thanks, Pop. So, we need to do yellow and silver. James Lucas, that's true. Chad is the ninja guy. Um, well, he loves ninjas, but I kind of say Nikatronus is the ninja guy because he's Ninja Franz, and I give him that credit. Um, yeah, yeah. I also not a ninja guy, but what kid in the '90s wasn't into ninjas in some fashion? Snake Eyes may not have been a ninja, but Night Creeper Leader sure as hell was. No, Brian, have a seat. Sharpen your number 2 pencil. Um, we're going to get started here. I'm going to get started. Yeah, so I finished that. I finished Dutch for Zakanen. Got him all painted up for the Z man.
Is that a Mark II design rifle, or whose is that one?
It's a gridiron. That's a gridiron.
Oh, cool.
It's very nice. Does Mark II do one of these? I know he does the church key, but I didn't know if he did a one with a 203 on it.
I thought so. I think it's set B of the ones that he had manufactured.
I need to get I need to get another one of those kits because I need another one of those FALs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I did for another gentleman, I did a Night Force blaster. So those of you that got the Dan Klingensmith's Creating GI Joe books, on that last run, the cards, unproduced card backs, were Night Force blaster and was it Night Force Lowlight on that card? Because the Night Force guys were two to a card, right? I want to say it was Blaster and Lowlight, but I could be wrong there.
I can't remember who's on it.
Anyway, yeah. So he wanted one of those. So that's Night Force Blaster. The helmet, the gun, and the harness. Those came from, it was Etsy. It wasn't Collectible Carnage. It was the other one. Shit.
Was it Jay's Armory?
That's it. That's what it was. It was Jay's Armory.
I think Jay's got all of the
Yes.
all the Battle Force 2000. He's got kits for all of them.
Mm-hmm. He does. That's my first set that I've got from him. They're good. They're nice. The harness on the chest is very loose, but the belt is very snug. So I assume you could use a larger torso and get the belt above the diaper where it would just fit around the and then the larger torso would fill it out a little bit. But I mean, it's not crazy or nothing, but you can see you could very easily put that on a larger torso, but just like that, it looks good.
Sure. Yeah, he looks great.
And then even the mouthpiece even comes off like the figures. He's pretty cool. Oh shit! Look out, Godzilla.
Yeah, I got his Dodger kit. I haven't done anything with it, but it's really good.
You did get a Dodger kit?
Yeah, last year sometime.
I know you are a Dodger fan.
I do like him.
Yeah. Not baseball, the GI Joe, you nerds.
Right. Just to clarify.
Yeah. No Brooklyn, no Los Angeles, none of that shit. And then I started work on this guy, which this much probably doesn't tell you who it is, but it's Daredevil. He is in progress. He's having some issues with the paint sealing and staying on. Tony, how you doing? G-Force. Hello, sir. Tony, I did get to watch the last two wrestling events. I'm pretty happy with how my promos came out. So thank you. What's this? Go do it, man. You got this.
That'll look cool.
Yeah, for sure. Do it. Zach, I think, is working on the same thing. He wants to put a Ferrigno head on one of the, not a Select though. The Select is huge. It's not fast draw, but a fast draw would be dope.
Yeah, I think that if we don't see any word of that coming, we may have to tackle that kit.
That would be a cool kit to tackle because it deserves an update.
It does.
It does. The whole 4 missiles and done. That's lame. Gotta bump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to do silver and we need to do yellow. We're going to tackle silver first because the backpack and the riffle are silver. Skanen, mi amigo, Mi familia. Menjoza. Hello, sir. So I went ahead and I painted the pieces that are going to be silver. I painted them black. That way we can get some nice lows with the colors. So just two things that are silver, and I may also tape off the helmet and do the visor. That's kind of a.
Are you gonna spray the visor?
Yeah, I'm gonna spray all the silver, so that's why I got to tape off the helmet if I'm gonna do that. And then we'll do some yellow. And I was thinking, because this sci-fi has the bands on his legs, I think I will use this 1mm vinyl tape and do laps around his legs. And
yeah.
And then I can just paint this. I don't know if it'll work, but find out. We'll find out.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
That's right.
Well, there's two ways to find out. You can trick someone else into doing it, or just do it yourself.
That's accurate. Yes. Now, normally I'm a fan of trickery, but
no guts, no glory.
That's right. In the words of Jesse Ventura, no pain, no gain.
Ooh, that's a good question.
It is. What base is wrong? Oh, shoot. I mean, a Chester Cheetah wouldn't be a bad place to start, but I think is he smooth or is he textured? One of the other characters may be better suited. I don't have any of those, or I would just look. The sides don't do it. You know what? This question may be better suited for John.
For painting an O-ring white?
Yeah. You've done more O-ring painting than I have.
Well, the nice thing about O-ring figures is they're all ABS plastic, so you can honestly, what I would do is shoot them with some primer white, take all the pieces apart, put them on these little pegs like Mikey uses, or whatever sticks you've got to put them on, and then spray the white. Use a like a Tamiya primer white, and then coat that with a regular coat of paint. It's a lot easier to do them because you can take them completely apart to do it. Shoot you a little clear coat on it so that the you're always going to have trouble where the torso and the waist meet. That's always going to rub. And if you want to go the easy route on the elbows and shoulder joint, remember with those figures, all those pieces were part of the buck. So all of those are interchangeable. So if you could find a white figure to scab those off of, you'd be further along.
There you go. Get you a slightly yellowed stalker.
You can use automotive primer if you get it in the aerosol. I don't think it's any better, and it's a little harder to find that in white. But I would take honestly, if I was doing that, I would take a junk figure, a cheap one, and just use that and try a couple of different tactics on it. Just try a few different things. It's not going to be a big deal. It's, there's plenty of dog fights and V1 sci-fis out there to paint. Both of those are really useful if you're painting a complex camo pattern. You end up with mustard or toothpaste, you still end up having to, if you can get it to, lay in the straight enough line, it's not too bad. But the nice thing about the mustard is if you're doing a camo pattern, you lay that on the part, put the base coat down, and then put it on. Once your second layer dries, then the paint kind of blisters up around the mustard and you clean it off. It does work. Works really great. People have been doing that. Model makers have been doing that on tanks and train models for years. It's really good for doing rust patterns and mud. You just splatter it on there, spray your coat on it. When you do, depending on what you're wanting, if you're wanting rust or something like that, then you paint the rust color first, splatter your mustard, line your mustard up, then spray your final color. Peel it off, and the cool thing about when you do that, especially if it's rust, then the edges kind of have a rough texture, and it actually feels like it's another layer underneath what you just painted. It's a pretty cool technique, really.
Wow, so you guys are teaching me stuff now.
David,
hello, sir. Working on this sci-fi.
Thank you, Zakanan.
Thanks, buddy.
GeForce Racing, I'm intrigued by your Tiny Jesus toy.
What's funny is I noticed there was a tiny Jesus at my work today. He's about 1.5 inches tall.
I have it's probably blasphemous, but I love Jesus action figures.
I think it's okay as long as you're not worshiping it, right? I mean, that's the.
I don't know, maybe.
Sin, right?
I have that 12-inch one that I added military gear to make him Jihad Jesus. I'm not sure how that works out.
Well, that one may be a scotch off on, that one may be a little bit, but Buddy Christ needs some company sometimes, dude.
Yeah. We got bobbleheads and the Buddy Christ from that movie and the 12-inch figures they did that talk.
Oh,
the Sermon on the Mount sounds a lot more threatening when you're holding an M16 with a 203.
Most things do. I mean,
I know there was that Kickstarter a couple of years ago for the Angels and Demons, and he had I'm pretty sure we're getting a couple of different versions of Jesus in that.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think there was a Jesus in the Almighty Legends. I don't think Dacre had a Jesus.
No, Almighty Legends didn't have it. I'm trying to remember the other guy though. Now I can't remember his name.
Was it Savage Crucible or was that something else?
No, it wasn't that. Man, I'll have to look at my emails. I get a Kickstarter update every once in a while. But they're 1/12 scale, so I'm looking forward to.
Oh.
I agree. Yes, David. It is in the eye of the beholder.
There it is.
The Canaan, that is it. Biblical Adventures.
Well done. Good job, Mainframe. You're the fucking man.
He's got angels. He's got demons. Several different Jesus figures. So yeah, I mean, I backed that Kickstarter because I thought it was cool. Always kind of had a soft spot for classically styled angels and demons.
Was that damn upbringing again?
Guess so.
I wonder what he would have thought about those Kickstarters.
I don't know.
I could very easily see him being totally for it because regardless of how it happened, it still got his name out there, right? Like it's still working. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Zakanan, the Michael figure is actually what he had original pictures of. He's got them. He's got some that look like statues and some that actually look like figures in flesh tones. But he did several. The ones that are in the stone colors and the copper colors are pretty sweet.
Oh, there's copper colored ones. That's dope.
Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably be down for that too.
I think one of these days on Couple of Kooks, we should show off some of the angel stuff. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, it was a cool concept.
There was some pretty badass stuff. I don't know if any of the physical concept stuff is still around, if it's survived, but the drawings would be cool to look at.
No, the drawings are. I still have the drawing. I still have the book that has all the plans for it. It was going to be a 12-inch action figure line that was angels versus demons, but kind of a simplified, not overly detailed. They were just like made to look cool. Had a guy that had a guy that wanted that had come to me about a factory that had these capabilities, and he wanted me to come up with a product, and so I did. And it needed, one of the things that factory could do was vac form metallizing, and so each of the figures came with vac form metallized parts in different shades of color.
I have seen those, but I've heard not great things about the plastic quality and such. And with 112 John Wick figures already existing for probably less than what I would charge to make one, And they look pretty badass.
That's not to say you wouldn't give it a shot if somebody really wanted you to.
Oh, sure, yeah. If somebody was like, yeah, I know they exist, but I want one of yours. Okay. grindings all over my damn desk.
I just threw that Biblical Adventures Kickstarter into the chat. Somebody wants to see all the stuff he was planning on doing, all the stuff that ended up getting made.
Oh, sweet.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Yes, we are. We'll have the call sign longbow booth. Troy will be there with us with that, and then we'll have Mikey's booth. I guess we're sharing a table with JMK Custom Works and a couple of kooks. That's all right. But yeah, we will be at also be at Joe Fest. We won't have a table on the floor at Joe Fest, but we'll be there. We'll have our stuff there because it'll be with us anyway.
Yeah.
I hope so too. I love getting people to come to DFW. It's going to be bigger this year. A lot more things in the works. Be a pretty good show. There's some cool panels they're going to have. Midnight belly dancing again. We don't like to talk about it until after it happens, really.
We never know.
Thank you, Kane. Oh. So Mikey's been having trouble with his paint sticking to this, and tonight he thinks maybe it was because he didn't have the prep work on the joint all the way down. So tape it off, give it another spray, see how it handles it this time. Which is, you guys seeing this? This is just a good example of the work that Mikey puts into the customs. Even this back joint, he's spending that much time just to get the back joint so it doesn't look crappy. So.
I do legitimately care.
Oh. Same issue with the arms.
Yeah, that's some weird flaking. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know if it was like something specifically with the plastic they used for Crazy Legs. This is the only figure I've ever had this much trouble.
Yeah, it could have been one of the first ones off the mold, you know, because a lot of times they use mold release on them, and then that mold release kind of bakes into the mold, and they don't worry about it. When that happens, sometimes that gets a little bit impregnated into the plastic. So usually, if you have one that is particularly tough to get coated, there's something to do with the actual makeup of the plastic, and it's usually mold release.
I could definitely see that being an issue. I mean, he was definitely a lot softer than most classifieds. I noticed that right off the bat when I started grinding the Dremel.
Yeah, it really chewed up on the edges.
Yeah, material really came off real fast. Some classifieds you really gotta hold it down to really get the material off, but this Crazy Legs was one of the easiest. So I don't know if it was like maybe you're probably right. It probably is something in the plastic, and mold release would be a pretty logical explanation.
Thank you. We do love what we do.
Thanks, buddy. Same could be said for you, my man.
Quentin, I got to show you sometime what I did with that trouble bubble I got from you last year. I went a whole different direction on that. Yeah, I'll grab it here in a little bit. I'll show you. I thought it turned out all right. I still have a few things to do to it, and the driver's not finished yet. Mikey's going to get his custom drivers done for other people before I get mine finished, I have a feeling. I haven't taken a lot of time to do any painting and stuff because I've been modeling so much. Yeah, I'm that way too, Quentin. It's the thing I can do to just shut everything off and just work on what I'm working on. I'll work on stuff. The other night I was doing stuff for the couple of Kook show last Sunday, and I worked very late one night. It was about 3 o'clock when I realized how late it was. 3 a.m. And I know sometimes I can do that without the TV on. It's just totally me just focusing on what I'm doing, no music or anything. I just get totally into it.
If I could work in peace, I could do that. But I have to drown out noise.
I understand that.
Lately lately I've been doing that by listening and glancing over and watching The Rookie.
Oh yeah,
That's been my show lately. It's quite good. In fact, Yojo Daddy this morning when Tony was doing his live, apparently it's still on. I didn't think it was, but apparently it is.
wow,
So that's exciting news.
that's a lot of seasons.
Usually when I get into a show, it's dead.
Right.
Unless it's a Taylor Sheridan show, because I'm usually on those from the get-go.
Yeah.
Those don't get more than a season in before I'm like, oh, I should be watching this show, because his shit's great.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of just the opposite, Quentin. When I got the creative side unlocked, my like that, I'm willing to do creative things. It's like it kicks off that in my head. But when I'm trying to like do something in a CAD program or something like that, the silence helps me more because I can focus just on measurements and.
I definitely understand that. Oh, much better.
Is that the same needle and head you use for everything, or is that one more of a detail one?
No, this is a finer one. This is I believe this one is a 0.3 and typical is a 0.5. No. Yeah, I think that's right.
Well, that's not a stupid question. This is his Daredevil figure here that he's touching up. And the sci-fi we're doing is the V2, the gray one.
But the kit would work just as well for a V3 if you wanted to paint him white.
Absolutely.
And the reason I'm working on this now is because I still had the paint in the airbrush, so I figured I'll go ahead and spray it and then clean it and switch over to silver.
Oh, no problem, man. We had somebody pop on the show Sunday that was kind of like joking about what Stacy what we were working on, and Mikey gave him a full rundown, and he's like, "Oh no, I know who you guys are. I just wonder what project this was."
Felt like an asshole.
It very much is. Very
Very
much
cool.
is like watching paint dry. In fact, I think Mikey could probably just do a live stream while he's at work one day and just put it on of just all the parts just sitting there drying all day. Just call it
Especially on a clear coat day.
Yeah, just watching paint dry, episode 18.
Put something on in the background. It'd be like the thunderstorm videos that I watch. It would just be a nice quiet, relaxing time.
Yeah, sit down on the couch with a cup of coffee and just watch paint dry.
Who doesn't get excited about that?
Color changing?
Hmm?
Are you changing colors?
Oh, not yet. Clearing out the red.
What airbrush are you using now?
Well, my main one is still the one you got me, the Patriot 105 or whatever the fuck it is. This one's actually the cheap one I got on Amazon that just goes smaller. So this is just an Amazon cheapie. Now I will say that air compressor you gave me. Thank you, by the way.
You're welcome.
Came with like 3 different airbrushes.
Yeah, it did.
I've not used any of them, but it was like 3 airbrushes in that box.
That was a Amazon Black Friday deal.
Well, that seemed like a pretty good deal. The compressor's great. I don't have any issue out of that. That's fantastic. I think I've covered this before, but this is my lacquer thinner in that jar. So that's what I clean with.
I have seen those. I would think those would be a lot easier for people that are used to laying heavy paint. The ones with the trigger on the bottom.
Yes.
If you're used to painting with a spray gun, I think it would be a lot easier to transition.
Yeah, I would agree. It doesn't seem very controlled to me.
Thanks, Kaiju Kitty. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, buddy.
That's cool. I'll have to look a little more into that.
Yeah, they seem pretty legit. I kind of like the pressure fed ones. Like these are gravity fed, but the pressure ones seem like it switches the pot and the trigger and puts them both underneath, which seems better if you were doing a lot of color, like if you were doing a bigger project.
Yeah, when back in the old days when Badger had like their old plastic airbrush, I mean that's basically what it was. It just was a gravity fed pot that shot through a needle, super simple. And at that time, it basically came with a little can of CO2 to use.
Hmm.
Back when for model kits like tanks and cars and stuff, it was terrible for painting cars, but it was great for laying out flats.
Mm. What's up, Jeff?
Hello, Jeff.
All right. That was a little more difficult than it usually is because I left it in there last night and I shouldn't have done that. Not very responsible.
Not very responsible. Sounds like a good T-shirt idea.
Hmm. Probably would be. Stickers, at least. I have to try to get me some stickers for the shows. I think that would be a worthwhile investment.
James, I don't think it's an advanced painter thing at all. I think it's just how you like to apply paint. When you when you decide to go with the airbrush, most people, and I think Mikey will probably attest to this, after you start using one and figure out all the tricks, it's really difficult to go back to just painting with a brush.
Yeah, honestly, it sucks. It sucks going back. And yeah, it's just a matter of learning the airbrush. It's really it. And the only way to do that is practice.
And I don't think it doesn't seem like it takes the thing that you really practice with is paint consistency. Once you
Yeah, and that's different for every airbrush. It's not like
it's
once
just
you
you get
figure out
your
you gotta keep going, gotta keep trying until you learn your airbrush. But
invitation to hell. I'll have to check that out. I'm something of a spacesuit man myself.
oh, it's gonna use gunmetal, but I may not like that.
Yeah, those were There's those airbrushes were so readily available. It wasn't something you. I mean, you could actually buy those sometimes at Walmart, True Value Hardware. It wasn't like they were really hard to get a hold of.
Khalib, what this?
What do you think, Chad? Chat, is that what it sounds like?
Oh my god.
So I was going to use this Army Paints gunmetal, but I think I'm going to get the good stuff out of the cellar and use this discontinued aluminum.
Whoa, snap.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. Still liquid. I'm actually super surprised that it's still liquid.
I am too. Holy cow.
And it really is. It's liquid. That's nice. Since these are model masters, these would have been purchased like when I started painting GI Joes.
Right.
So that container is probably 5 years old. I have no new problem believing that. So generally, this is something that a lot of people talk about, but usually with consistency, I want like 2% milk. I don't want vitamin D milk. I don't want the full thickness. I don't want half and half, but I also don't want skim. So I want it to have a liquid body, but not be super thin. But really, the only way I see if it's right is just spray it. Solid coverage, not getting a lot of spider webbing, not a lot of runs. It's good to go.
Good to go. Let's lay some silver. Hey, Frank.
Doom! What up?
Mikey James wants to know if you'd recommend a particular airbrush to start out.
I do really like my Patriot that you got me, which was technically my first airbrush.
Yeah.
Replacement parts are easy to get. They're not very expensive. It's a quality brush. It's easy to break down. It's easy to clean. But like this one, like I said, this was a cheap ass Amazon one that I could get a smaller needle for and do a lot of do more detail work. Oh, looks like it clipped it right off the sprue, don't it?
Nice. Yes, it does.
So this is my regular Extreme Patriot 105. I think there's 3 different needle sizes you can use on it. It's really just a matter of changing out this part here, the tip inside, and the needle itself. It's got I feel it's a nice weight. I like that the nut is accessible without removing this cover. And the needles they have for Patriot have the ball on them, so they're pretty easy to change out. This is a really solid airbrush.
And they're around $100 for the Patriots, but seriously, if you're just trying to figure out if you want to even work with airbrushes, I wouldn't spend a lot of money if you get you one of those sets from Harbor Freight that comes with a compressor and a couple of airbrushes for around $100. And Joe Fan.
What up, dude? Oh man.
Oh my God. What is this?
Fucking
amateur hour?
Amateur, dude. Jeez. Can't get good help around here.
He did drop it, but this is a good comeback. That's the key to doing live shows. Gun Bunny Customs.
What's up, bud? How the hell are you? I'm gonna tell you something. There ain't no shame in brushing paint on, but good luck doing that with one coat. Ain't happening.
Right.
You're gonna be metallic, white, yellow. You're gonna be brushing that 10 fucking times before you get a nice even coverage, and it's gonna be streaky because there's gonna be brush marks in it. Because painting something 5 to 10 times over, you're going to get impatient. You're going to start putting more color down before it's ready for more color. This is where the airbrush truly shines.
Yeah, David, I would just grab, if you're just starting out, just get you one at Harbor Freight or one of the sets like I gave Mikey from Amazon that are right around $100. You get a nice small compressor, and you get your tubes, and you get a couple of airbrushes in there. Just get one of those sets and try it out. If you get one of the ones that has multiple airbrushes in it, you put a different tip in each one and try the different tips. So you're not changing the tips constantly trying to figure out which one you really like.
So this one that Dad got me, Vivo Home Cool Runner Fan and Air Tank Compressor System Kit. So there's cleaning brushes. There's a shutoff valve. There's the hose it came with. I wasn't kidding. 3 airbrushes. So this one's a bottom fed. And then these look like pretty much the same. You would just change out the tip size.
The tip and the needle.
And this one, just based on what it says in there, 0.2. So these do some fine detail. 0.2 is tiny. Like I said, that one I'm using right now on the side on the silver, that's a 0.3, I think.
Yeah, those really fine ones come in handy if you are doing miniatures.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if any of y'all watch any miniature painting videos, but the guys that do the light reflection or refraction, that is amazing.
That is amazing.
They'll like have a light source and
that.
they'll do like streaks, and then they'll do the contrast color over it. If you're doing that, you need that 0.2. That's where that's really shining. So yeah, if you get you a deal on something like that, the air compressor, I that first one you got me, it was a pretty cheap Amazon air compressor, and it lasted, I don't know, 3 years. I think I had that.
3 years, yeah, about that.
And then it just got developed a hole in the tank and just popped one day. Very strange. But this one, I already think this one is better than that last one. Yeah.
Yep. You get $100, drop $100, you get you a couple of air brushes, nice little compressor. The compressors aren't super loud, so.
And they don't run very long either, because the tank's about the size of a football.
You definitely want to get one with a tank, though.
Get a tank. Yeah, get a tank. Get a tank and invest in quick disconnect fittings.
Definitely.
That is, boy, let me tell you, that's money. A lot of people have a lot of success with those the new higher end brands from the Hobo Freight.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos out there comparing them to some of the name brands, and they hold up pretty good.
It used to be huge pieces of shit.
They did.
And now they're not much different than what you're spending 3 to 4 times as much for. Now, I'm not saying they go toe to toe with like a Makita or something like that, but against DeWalt and Milwaukee, I think they do okay. I don't think nobody's replacing their companies or replacing their brands or anything, but
no, but for a home shop, you
for a garage,
just,
just do it.
And my experience with Harbor Freight, if you return something, has been pretty good. So
I don't think I've ever had to return anything, but I'd imagine they're pretty good about just swap it right out.
Yeah, I had a sander, an orbital sander that was not okay. I could not get it to work that first day, so I just took it back. Told the guy at the counter what happened, and he said, "Well, just go get another one. We'll swap it out."
Done. Hard to get easier than that. You don't even have to send it in for warranty. Just swap it out.
Right.
Okay. See, that makes sense because your jobs are typically way bigger than mine. I mean, I'm rattle cannon vehicles. So yeah, if you're using that for what you're doing, then that's got to be a pretty decent product. I think I see Grex. I think is that the green and black line? Is that one? Is that what that one is? I think that's what they have at one of my local hobby stores. Like a lime green and black. Not sure.
What's next, Mikey?
I'm gonna put some clear on this Air Devil because clear is what's loaded in this. So with this, let me show you. So these are quick disconnect fittings. So instead of me having to unthread it, boom, airbrush switched.
Gunbuddy says they're green and silver. He got it off Amazon. So.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, I don't know what that brand is then. I'll have to pay more attention next time I go in to get some Vallejo spray paint.
Oops.
Show you guys something on this Air Devil I'm working on. So this is a 60th Action Diver head, one of the two that come in the pack. And Air Devil, if you guys remember, had like a big smoke-colored visor that flipped down. And I was looking for stuff, trying to figure out what to do. And then I remembered the Monster Force Delta Red figure has a big like blast shield that comes down. But I was like, I don't want to have to do a head swap. So I hollowed it out.
Oh wow!
And then I glued in a pair of I think low light goggles, and then just ground it to where it fit in flush. And so now this is a helmet that fits on the Action Diver head.
That's slick.
And kind of resembles Air Devil's helmet with the blast shield. Plus, it lets me use this Delta Red helmet that I was not using. Pretty stoked about it. I think it's going to look really good. It's the thanks. It's the second time I have used a HasLab figure for a custom project. First one was Cobra Commander. But he was still Cobra Commander. This is a totally different. Happy with him so far. If I could just figure out that paint sealing and sticking on the back of the joints for some reason. I think I got it, but time will tell. All right. Let's just check these out. I don't even think I'm going to do another coat. That looks really good.
That turned out real nice. Model Master paint, man.
Fucking good stuff, man. It's a damn shame. Damn shame. I'm going to hit the back of this one again, I think.
A little more silver.
Oh, no, James, Air Devil, like land, sea, and air, not dare.
That's the cannon.
Hmm. Good with that. Hmm. Tripwire and Airborne are definitely up there.
Yeah, both of those
God, I
figures
use
are
those a
solid.
lot.
And they have so
Man.
many uses, there's so many things you
Yes.
can use them for.
Yeah. Yeah, Tripwire / Techno Viper, right? Super similar. Trying to think what else I've done a lot of repeats with. The second version of Firefly, the more original style Firefly, I've used that figure a lot. That's a good buck. I would say those three are probably the ones that I pull from the most. Yeah, probably so. I've purchased a lot of stalkers because the legs are super universal. That's pretty good. Nice. Still a cool figure.
Yeah, it is a great figure.
It's a pretty good use of the parts. And I think I'm going to use Captain America, Sam Wilson Captain America. I think I'm going to use these wings for Daredevil.
That'll be cool.
Because they look less bird-like than the New World Order Falcon, because it has like feathers. So I think that's going to be Daredevil. And then a little comparison to the wing styles. So this is the Sam Wilson cap, and this is the Falcon from the same. They're both at Target right now, like 25% off or something like that. Either $25. That's what it is. So they have pretty much the same articulation, but these look a little more bird-like. These look a little more aircraft. And then if we want to compare that a little bit more, there's your Raptor arm. And this is obviously better. It just is. It's got a cooler pack. It's got the VTOL fans, and you have a pivot point on the outside, which these just have another bend, which really isn't super useful. Whereas this one you could kind of fold it, and he could stand on a shelf. These, they really don't. Have to leave a lot of room behind him to. Yeah. So.
Yeah. What else have they used that airborne body for?
60th pilot, the Halo jumper.
Yeah.
Now they've used pieces of him other places, like Leatherneck has his legs. I think the arms are the same as scrap iron. So I guess they're scrap iron arms because he was first. But the torso the same? I think the torso may be scrap iron as well. Isn't that right?
I can't remember. I think it's a little different. Something about it's different. It might be the neck. Or, where I can't remember. I don't have them in here.
There we go. Okay. There's an airborne torso. There's a scrap iron. Yeah, so upper body, that is the same. So scrap iron's torso and arms is the same as airborne, which is funny because they originally shared parts. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Yeah, the original shared legs and lower arms.
So this time they share torso and arms, and obviously not legs. Airborne's legs are the only ones that aren't bloused, except Shipwreck. I think him and Shipwreck are the only ones. Shipwreck's go all the way down, and his go about mid-length and are tied. So super useful body, but this is the Firefly body I was talking about, which is the same as Metalhead. This is just a good buck. It's a good place to start.
And the just saying for the torso, the Sci-Fi kit fits that pretty good too.
Yeah. So one of our things with a couple of Kooks kid is that Dad tries to design him around stuff that's readily available, and these were on clearance for a long time, and they don't go for a whole lot now. So those are obtainable. This torso is actually for a Stormovic. There's his heed.
Oh, nice.
There's his PPSH. I'm going to use a spirit harness and trim the fringe off of that, but it's going to be a Stormovic right there.
That's cool.
Jimmy, if you're yeah, I'd gladly pay you for them. If they're liquid, I love the Model Master stuff. I was super bummed when they discontinued it. I bought as much as I could when I knew they were going out. I went to Hobbytown and I loaded up quite a bit, but what is on that shelf right there. That's the last I have of it. It's so good. So good quality paint. In fact, it'd probably be a smart idea to get bottles that seal and put this shit in good bottles.
Yeah.
Droppers. Give it a little extra life.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. As much as I complain about these pots, this shit isn't any better. This sucks. Especially if you're not disciplined in cleaning the rim before you put it back together. That's a lesson you just learn the hard way, I think. Or maybe I'm just a stubborn ass.
I think so, but that's true of all testers paint, right? It all of it with the glass, it's very finicky about paint drying on it and not being able to open them.
Yep. And then it just has that disc of cardboard that has the cellophane side. And that sticks, and then the cardboard, the disc separates, and god damn it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you always want to keep a washcloth handy, Zakanin, when you're doing that.
Keep your rim clean. It doesn't matter if you're having company or not. Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. That's the kind of valuable insight we offer here.
All right. While that shit's having a dry session, see about laying this tape down on these legs, and let's see if that's an option. 1 millimeter. Now, Zakanin and I will have Jeff Butler this Thursday, tomorrow.
Oh, goodness.
So for those of you that don't know, Jeff Butler knows his shit. And some of you may just figure that out tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central.
What will you guys be talking about?
We are going to talk about our favorite Batman stories.
Oh, cool.
Across books, movies, cartoons, video games, any medium is open. So that should be pretty cool. I think there will be a little overlap, but I don't know if there's going to be much. I'm kind of thinking that we're going to get some unique perspectives. And I think I even got next week's guest lined up, but I don't want to announce it just yet. Stuff does come up, you know.
It does.
No, James, Chad won't be with us on this one. We're leaving him alone because the guy's moving. He's got enough going on. We try not to stress each other out. But he definitely is a Batman guy. I mean, I don't know anybody else with a full back tattoo of Jim Lee Batman. Oh, nice. All right. And David, you'll have to tune in and give us your list. Drop it in the chat so we could talk about it.
Yes.
Figure it out together.
I'll be right back, Mikey.
Okay. God, thought he'd never leave. Oh yeah, James. I love Jim Lee, but I'm a '90s kid, so Jim Lee drew X-Men as I knew them. Now, is he still my favorite? No, but he still drew X-Men to me. Pop, something I appreciate laying down tape lines is how many times I watched Chip Foose do it on Overhauling and how fucking easy he made it look.
Oh yeah.
Doing a full fucking
Absolutely.
car, and I'm over here struggling on a fucking upper thigh piece for a GI Joe figure. My dude is a master. I mean, he has his 10,000 hours in. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah.
Hell, he probably had 10,000 hours when he was at Boyd Coddington's shop.
Probably. I grabbed the trouble bubble while I was in there.
Oh. Swap yourself over to the big screen and show that thing off.
I'll probably mess this up is what I'm going to do.
No, just drag your picture, drag it over to the big spot. Don't click anything. Just there you go.
So it's the Action Force Special Weapons team. I thought they needed a trouble bubble, so
they did.
Got working on a Boffin figure to drive it. He needed a command vehicle, so
that's the second thing they needed after being produced at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did just finish 2 of those this weekend.
Boffins?
Pete. Yep.
Yeah, I painted that some time ago. It's already got dust on it, so.
I hate when I do that. Part of the
Yeah,
way through a project and stop, and it gets coated with dust.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, it needs a little more tweaking and the stickers. I'll make some decals for it.
There you go. Might have you make some decals for the AF3.
Okay.
I don't know. I was gonna use the silhouette thing and do stencils. I still might, but decals might be cooler for that. I don't know.
Thanks, guys. Quentin, when I got it from him on the way home, I talked about a bunch of different ways to do them, and we were going to do a couple of kooks like contests to see which one of us came up with. Both of us do our own, and that didn't work because we had other stuff to do. But
it was very much a less dramatic Cats in the Cradle situation. I just didn't have time.
Just didn't make the time. Instead, we just decided to do a bi-weekly show, and
yeah, it was way less dramatic.
Yeah. Like I really don't have time for you, son. So what we'll do is we'll start a business and get a website.
What we'll do. I don't have that kind of time.
So no time for this trouble bubble bullshit. We're just going to go full on. Action Force homage, here we come.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I want to do all the special weapons vehicles. I got a HMS and the Stinger to paint.
Yeah, I got a Stinger to paint, but it's not special weapons. That fucker's gonna be a Panther. I would like to get those cool done too. Before fucking DFW. Damn it, I don't know. You got it, James. Little Boy Blue and the Man on the Moon. Yeah, I think the tape lines are gonna work.
You think you'll be able to pop the parts together with that tape on there?
I may glue them.
That is true. Shout out to Andrew Dice Clay for that one, James. Oh.
It's just a little cleaner than some of the other ones. Not much, just a little.
Yeah.
can't remember who I was talking to this week, but the man from Nantucket came up.
Well, that's a good one.
I was telling them, I was like, that was the joke that I think I heard the intro to more times than any other joke in my life. Because my mom would only let him get the intro out before shutting him down. I swear to God, in my mind, it felt like a daily occurrence where my dad would be like, there was a man from Nantucket. She'd be like, no, and shut him right down.
Your mom remembers.
Oh, I'm sure she does. My mom and Pepperidge Farm. They remember.
Crap, now we're going to have to include tape in these kits.
You're on your own with tape, y'all.
Used to, drafting tape you could get in yellow and green and stuff like that. But drafting tape's a little thicker than what you got there. Doesn't stick as good either.
Yeah, this stuff's good. This isn't anything expensive. This is more Amazon nonsense, but it's like this whole variety pack of vinyl striping tape. I'm just using the 1mm. Typically, I use one of the two thicker ones for other stuff, but I think that's going to work out just fine. Let's check these out. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Oh man, this feels like the Invisible Man reveal.
Yeah, hopefully this one doesn't end in a fucking travesty. Whoop.
Yeah, I hope this doesn't end like that Twilight Zone episode where the girl gets the surgery to make her beautiful like everybody else.
Oh, and then everybody else looks all funny at the end.
Oh, here it comes.
Tune in next week. No, I'm just kidding. God damn it, that don't look like Sci-Fi V2's helmet.
That is nice.
Hell yeah. A little bit of cleanup I got to get there, but not bad at all. And that is why this creates the edge, and then the 10mm Tamiya tape does the masking. This doesn't seal like this shit.
That's nice.
That came out real good. I showed this off. So this is just a Tomax or Zaymont or whatever, but that's the head we went with. Come on. Yeah. So that's that head. Get it going.
I kind of like a little bit of everything. I mean, I clearly like O-rings. I call sign longbow attests to that. Definitely,
As an O-ring,
definitely have love for it. I haven't. 1/6 is probably the one I really like, but it's just not a common scale anymore. I really do like 1/12 scale. I just do like the just because it's so much easier to do the customs where or just loadouts, just swapping harnesses and helmets and stuff like that. It's I think it's a lot more fun. It's not, you don't have real clothes like you have on 12-inch or on Mezco, but I think it's a cool scale. Like the Marvel Legends, when they started coming out in that scale, I thought that was a pretty cool scale.
Yeah, we were into Marvel Legends before they were Marvel Legends, when they were just the classic Spider-Man wave.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to KB Toys with you and looking for the variants, and
oh yeah.
So you get the Black Spider-Man, you get the regular Spider-Man, you get Scarlet Spider, you get Daredevil. Man.
Oh yeah. All right, so you got a glamour shot of everything you painted tonight, of the sci-fi stuff.
I guess that's just this shit. I mean, that was really all
Yeah.
painted from Sci-Fi.
You got the rifle.
The rifle. Backpack. And hold on.
Will you do a wash on those silver parts? You just gonna let them stand on their own? Paint any details on there?
Yeah, I probably will. Because I mean, you put a
Hoses.
ton of detail in there, so I think I will do some wash. I might even do some dry brushing with the chrome pen.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
So
I really liked when the Classifieds first came out, even though they were part of that video game. I thought that was cool. I really didn't mind a new take on the figures. Nice. There it goes. Yeah, there is some detail in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the kit has you'll need a classified hose. So this is literally the only hose that has come with classified figures. So barbecue, tripwire, Techno Viper, anything comes with this hose. So this hose connects the back of the gun to either this post or this post, and then this is coil, like kind of like guitar string, but more. It's not spring wrapped around a string. It's actually spring. So this goes from that port right there to the back of the helmet. So on the original figure, the helmet connected to like the rocket launcher, bazooka, spring-loaded missile launcher. That's what the helmet connected to on the original one. We don't want any of that, so it connects to the tank, or to the backpack.
Hey, Shane. Yep.
Oh,
A lot of the cool people are here.
Yeah. 24 of us kicking it for a couple minutes. Ugh. Hey, Shane, I showed everybody this already, but you weren't here for it, so. Little Night Creeper leader. Just finished him up. Pretty happy with it. So yeah, so that's what we got tonight. Got the silver painted, got stripes laid out and glued. That should seal them onto those legs. And then next week, we'll paint the yellow on the hands, on the those lines around the legs, and something else he's got that's yellow. The pouches on his arms.
Pouches on his arms. Is the belt yellow? You probably want to do the belt in yellow just to pop it off.
Yes, the belt has yellow on it. I don't think it's full yellow.
No, I think it's just the belt itself.
Oh no, the belt's black.
Oh, okay.
The belt's black,
That's
but
weird.
the seam on his tripwire doesn't really have that.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Tripwire's suit only has the seam from the neck to the torso, and that's covered up by the chest plate. So I probably won't do that. But I'll do the
Let's
legs.
use that vinyl tape and lay that on there to thicken it up.
Well, I could do that. I could do that. What's the diaper look like? Yeah, I could probably do something like that. That's the diaper. So if I follow that flap over the abdomen, that would probably be cool. That might work.
Yep.
I might just
so right
do
after
that
this
tonight.
show. Oh, okay. Right after that, after our show, you got a choice between 3POA or What's on Joe Mind. Either one, both good shows. So
I think 3POA is it have. Did I see that Jeremy was back on that, guys? Is that accurate? I haven't seen Jeremy do a stream in a while. Probably because Army life. So that'll be cool to see him again. But yeah, that Nice. Okay, 610 says Jeremy is back. That's cool, man. I haven't seen Jeremy in a long time. That's awesome. So you know what that means? What that means? We may have Talking Joe's back. Joe's Talking Joe's with Chad, where they go through the Chuck Dixon stuff and start talking about military stuff, which was one of my favorite shows that Chad did. Love that.
Yeah, good stuff. Really,
absolutely. So tomorrow night, catch me and Zakanin after Mega Powers, 9 p.m. Central, with Jeff Butler, and we'll be talking about our top 5 favorite Batman stories. And this Sunday we're off. No show this Sunday. So that brings us into next week. If you haven't, check out Headcanon. Subscribe to his channel. Good dude. Check out the last interview he did, which was John. It was a pretty interesting interview. Had a cool talk. And yeah, you got anything else, Pop?
No, I do not. Not this week.
All right.
But everybody remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. Replay Squad. Hey, appreciate it.
In your hands now.
Her life was in your hands, dude. So, guys, appreciate you watching. Following. Appreciate the memberships. I love you all. Good night.